Well, very good morning, everybody, for Tuesday, the 14th of June. A trickier day than probably expected yesterday, but very well done to Mark Davenport and a couple of others who achieved some big distance. And for Mark, your first 750. I look forward to reviewing the trace and hopefully very quickly giving you a 750 claim. So this ridge of high pressure is still established well over us and will be for most of this week. And as we go through, we'll continue to see the slack winds and we'll start to pick up a southerly airflow later in the week, which will see the temperatures climb and climb. Stay still fairly comfortable, probably sitting around 22 degrees, but it is going to get hot. The winds, well, they've slackened off a slight southeasterly at the moment, becoming light and variable, mostly from the south during the day. No real stronger than about 5 knots or so, and on the ground, barely that. Satellite picture in the UK shows reasonably good in our area. There is some high cover to the south of us, which is worth keeping an eye on. But as it stands, that doesn't seem to be going anywhere. More cloud in the Bristol Channel and up into East Anglia currently. But right overhead us are good conditions. And there is the signs of some cumulus already forming at quite high levels. Public forecast suggests that today will be fairly blue. And will be a mostly southerly wind, top temperature of 21 degrees, good visibility, and yes, that humidity dropping throughout the day, meaning that it is likely to go blue at some point, even if we do start off with cumulus. Top temperature today on GFS showing around 21 degrees, which is slightly higher than what the Met Office show, but probably a bit more realistic, especially if you're standing on the runway. And dew points dropping to sort of 8s and 7s. As that happens, probably it going blue. OGM are currently reporting 16 degrees, Cavo K. We'll just look at Farnborough as well. 16 degrees still, and Cavo K for the day. Move around the country. Rise north and talk about a few clouds at 4,800 feet and down towards Gatwick, all very similar. Currently at Lasham, we have a temperature of 18 degrees and a dew point of 9, and that temperature is on that still very much an exponential curve as it keeps going up. And the Larkhill sounding showed that, let's have a look. It sort of warms out to around 3,000 feet initially, once that's broken, which should be fairly shortly, and then potentially slightly higher from there. But there's a solid inversion higher up, which will, I'm sure, cap the thermals, and the lines are going to move further apart during the day as well, giving us a bit more blue. Okay, starting off at this is about 10 o'clock in the morning. Blue shallow Q up to, say, around 3,000 feet. Quickly continue to improve. By midday, quite easily, we're going to have sort of 4,000 to 4,500 feet blue shallow Q. Around sort of 2, 3 o'clock, we're looking at 5,000 to 5,500 feet blue, more likely than shallow Q. Looking much more north of us, just north of the M4, I imagine there's probably an increased chance of Q. Good into Wales, where you're seeing cloud base of 5,500 feet, and up towards Cambridgeshire and Husbos, Birmingham, still looking good, and reasonable up to the north as well. I know there was discussions of going to York, and that may well be on. Looking at this, cumulus up there, looking around 1,500 meters. So what's that? 4,500, 5,000 feet. But best area just to the north of us in the Oxfordshire region. It might not go on quite as late as yesterday. Being a southerly wind, we will probably see a sea breeze front come through at some point from our south. But as long as you have enough height the other side of the M4, I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine to get back in. And it definitely cut off at about 7:30 there. Cloud amounts. See for any high cover. Not too much in the way of that. Yeah, higher cover as you go further north, and maybe it moves through the central part of the country during the day. but in our area, absolutely fine. No chance of high cover. Site forecast shows 3.5 knots in the middle part of the day, up to 5,000 feet. So nice, easy day around here. And yeah, that wind being fairly consistent all the way up. So shouldn't be any square thermals or anything like that. And topping out here, GFS thinks at 21 degrees of a dew point of 7. So yeah, unsurprisingly, blue. Just take a look at sky sites. Let's compare any differences. Again, good in that central area. Up into Wales, up towards just past Cosford, Shobden area, and good up towards the Manchester zone as well. And up towards the Leeds area. So yeah, a bit weak around the coasts today, not quite as good. So yeah, your real playing area is this area around here. And the lack of dots on the chart, meaning that on this thermal strength chart, meaning that the thermal should be round and not too clunky. Cloud base as well, showing chance of haze caps in our area throughout the day. That's probably as best as it's going to get. The highest of the queue sat at nearly 6,000 feet, just south of Oxford. But yeah, more queue as you head up further north and further west. But expect haze caps or blue around here. And just check for cloud cover at higher levels. All of that high cover we can see out the window staying to our south. So no real factor. Convergence. People ask about that occasionally. Run through the day. Nothing rearing its head particularly at the moment. Some convergence down probably where these two air masses meet between the Channel and the Bristol Channel, and similar near the Thames. But I mean, maybe as the sea breeze front comes through, it'll develop. But yeah, not massive on convergence today. Look for that. Okay, so a quick look at airspace. One of the danger areas at Exeter, just south of the airport, has been activated. I did see that. 20 is Goodwood. There's an air display there between 1310 and 1400 that they'd like you to keep out the way of if possible. Looking around Aston Down gliding competition, I imagine they'll be tasking to the north of the Bryce zone, maybe slightly south. But yeah, lots of paragliding NOTAMs from the looks of that. Six. 37, 38, and 42. Nether Ravens active, but that's unsurprising. Just lots of paragliding NOTAMs. Just check there's nothing else for you. 46 Sywell active for most of the day with aerobatics. 43 and 44 again being paragliding NOTAMs. But that's about it. There are no restricted area temporaries which I am aware of today. I don't think anybody's going to the Isle of Wight, but there's a 727 one from here that's doing oil spill trials out there today at low level. So don't be surprised if you get a shock if you're flying around there. Air display in the Staffordshire, just south of Tainton Hill. I think you won't be going too close to that. And military exercises in East Anglia, looking at this. So yeah, just double check your routes on these big days as if we look at the potential flight distance. There's a lot of scope to be going a lot of places today. So if you're going anywhere particularly unusual, or in a particular corner of airspace, then yeah, have a look yourself. I'd strongly suggest. Okay, we have the Farnborough ILS calibration again. That's because on Friday, after they tried it, it didn't work. So unfortunately, the calibrator will be back, but I'm going to work with Farnborough to try and time it right, that we're not having to sort of pause too much of the activity. There might be brief 5-minute pauses to allow it to do a couple of runs through the overhead, but yeah, we'll be able to operate otherwise. Operationally, we are 2-7. It'll be westerly preference today, unless suddenly we get huge east wind. I'm happy to accept up to 5 knots tailwind if it avoids going towards the trees. If you really think you are quite heavy, then I'd suggest going to the runway. But it's good. No jet movements as far as I'm aware of either. They're a bit quiet at the moment. So 2-7, nice, horrible day. I'll see you on the airfield shortly. Bye for now.